Welcome back to Have a Go Spaghettio. Today we have a closer look at D of the ABC DE theory of emotional disturbance. D is when we challenge the veracity of B. We identify what it is we are thinking and determine whether or not it's rational or irrational, and then we challenge it. With D, we dispute it. And this is the topic today. Miss Smithers is determined to teach her young constructivist learners that habits of thinking can be healthy and helpful, or unhealthy and unhelpful. She wants to focus on the D part of the ABC DE of REBT counselling paradigm that she's learning about. This is the part where we ask questions like, what do you mean? How do you know? And what have you left out? A dumb act, she says, doesn't make one dumb. So Miss Smithers puts it to the children. What do you mean when you say you're dumb? And how do you know? What have you left out? What are we not considering? And what do we mean when we say my friend is mean? How do you know? And what have you missed out? Miss Smithers has compiled a list of expressions, utterances made by children in her class. Here are some. He's dumb. I can't do this. No one likes me. This makes me sad. These are discussed and referred to often, as Miss Smithers wants to promote a discourse that points to examining what we mean, explaining how we justify our meanings, and exploring how what's left out can challenge what we mean and form a new and more accurate meanings. That's the Have a Go Spaghettio way. Miss Smithers says, when children present with behaviours and emotions that suggest that brain bully thinking is at work, we try to identify what it is that's driving, e.g. anxiety or sadness or anger. Once identified, we then talk about the evidence that challenges or disputes the veracity of what brain bully is saying. This is the D part of the ABCDE theory of emotional disturbance. Change our thinking and change how we feel and act. Helpful thinking is brain friend or success helper thinking. This is done as a matter of course when, e.g., we are considering third-party characters like Franklin the Turtle in the story Franklin's Bad Day. Miss Smithers will refer to the class emotional thermometer to identify emotions and strength of emotions. She will invite children to consider where a happening might rate on the catastrophe scale. This challenges the view that something might be worse than it need be. Brain bully thinking makes brain bully feelings and actions. Miss Smithers is on the Have a Go Spaghettio ball. She promotes a classroom discourse that engages critical thinking. Uppermost in her mind is the importance of not conflating doing with being, i.e., we are not what we do. Also the idea that we are not the labels or words that others might ascribe us. Miss Smithers says, as a group, we will revisit situations familiar to students, as with Franklin's Bad Day, the story. We will identify what happened, A of the ABC, and how Franklin felt and acted at C of the ABC in response to A of the ABC theory of emotional disturbance. And we'll question Franklin's mindset at B. What thinking are we suggesting might be driving how Franklin is feeling at C? We have previously determined that Franklin was engaged in brain-friend bully thinking that was causing Franklin's extreme upset at C. So what do? Let's consider the veracity of Franklin's thinking at B and help him modify what he thinks and therefore how he feels and behaves. This endeavour will remind us all that the belief constructions we make, brain friend or success helper, or brain bully success stopper thinking, is linked to how we feel and behave. Give it a try, banana pie, say the children. In Franklin's bad day, Franklin's best friend Otto moved away. He felt sad and angry and became aggressive. This unhelpful and uncharacteristic disposition, the children say in the first instance, is because Otto moved away, and Franklin will only ever feel okay again if Otto comes back. They say he thinks, I can't be happy, this is not fair. But I'm trying to teach them that B has something to do with it. The children think that A makes C, that Franklin feels and acts as he does because A, the happening, makes him this way. I want them to learn that A, what happens, plus B, how A is interpreted, makes C. We want Franklin to go from an A equals C perspective, that what happens makes me feel and do as I do, to a brain friend A plus B equals C perspective. The idea that A has something to do with how I feel and behave, but it's also got a lot to do with how I interpret or think or believe at B. I asked the children, how do we know Franklin isn't okay? What does he mean when he thinks he'll never be happy again? How does he know this? What is he leaving out? What other possibilities are there? Using the verbal pollution-free zone principle of general semantics, we talk about the evidence that may challenge the how do you know what you think is true question. And it's all work in progress. Classroom discourse focuses on the 6 success Go Spaghettio helper capabilities. We talk about the think-feel-do connection of rational emotive behavior therapy. We set ourselves success helper goals and work to reach them. We practice unconditional self, other, and life acceptance. We say together each day that making a mistake doesn't make us mistakes. We look out for brain bully thinking and we challenge it to change it to brain friend thinking. And we sing the Have a Go Spaghettio song. Don't we, Miss Buzz? Yes, we do. And then the children under Miss Smithers sing the Have a Go Spaghettio song. And there we end this presentation. Ms. Smithers puts a premium on getting children to think about their thinking, to identify brain bully thinking when it's in action, and to successfully challenge it with evidence so we can change the way we think about something and therefore moderate how we feel and how we act. Have a go, Spaghettio, and give it a try, banana pie. Till next time.